What up guys, SuperMetal983 here bringing you another album review, and this time I've got a local release for you to check out. If you're into your thrash metal, then this is definitely a release you just need to check out. But I'm going to be reviewing the debut EP from Theta, entitled Theta. This is a self-released EP in 2019. Now, I first got introduced to Theta back in 2018, I think it was mid-2018, through their vocalist, Lundy, who is also of Decrepit Monolith, sick black metal band, definitely check them out. But I've been talking to him last year about this new project that he was sorting out, and I was really looking forward to it, especially when I saw them at the O2 Academy supporting, who was it again? Armatura, a great local heavy metal band, definitely check them out as well. And I was really looking forward to their set at the O2, and they really impressed me at the O2. Like, I recorded some footage of Giratori and Armatura. Make sure you check out that footage, by the way. But Theta, I was really enjoying their set that much that I honestly forgot to record some footage, but what can you do in those circumstances? But anyway, yeah, but I was really looking forward to their release, and then as time went on, they were teasing that they were recording their debut release, and then on Facebook, their drummer Mark was looking for people to review this EP, and I got in contact, and we exchanged a couple of words, had a chat and stuff like that, and here we are today to record their debut EP, which is, as I said, Theta. Now, it's 5 tracks and runs around 25 minutes in length, and as you know by now that I'm not the greatest of thrash fans, in all honesty. Like, there's some bands that stick out there, you know, the likes of Havoc, Testament, Exodus, amongst others, you know, that I do genuinely really like, but a lot of thrash to me is very stale and quite boring, in all honesty. But I can safely say that this is not one of those type of thrash bands. This is a different kettle of fish, if you ask me. Like, it definitely has the thrash elements that you want to hear, like some quite speedier sort of elements in there, but in general, it's not got that sort of vibe on here. This is more of a more melodic, progressive sort of thrash metal release, if you ask me. It has twinges of elements of melodicness and thrash, you know, melodic thrash, progressive thrash, just to create this really unique, cohesive project called Theta. Now, this has a lot of attack going for it, this EP, and that was definitely one thing that stuck out for me, was the melodic attack that has on this EP. It has a lot of catchiness to it, and infectiously catchy moments on this EP, in particular on the second song after the intro, which is called Thy Bloody Kingdom, Thy Bloody Deeds. It took us a while to get that title down, I'm telling you that, so fuck you, Lundy, for giving us a tongue twister there. But yeah, that song is a 9-minute, well, near enough, 9-minute long epic masterpiece of a song, and definitely one of my favourite songs that I've heard so far in 2019. It's infectiously catchy, and the progression on that track definitely gives off a more of a, I would say, in all honesty, a bit of a Dream Theater sort of vibe in there, but it definitely has a lot of catchy vibes on there. But my favourite part of that song, like, the infectiously catchy lyrics are one of the things that I really love, but I love the progression in that song, especially right in the centre of it, where it breaks up into a like really serenading sort of silhouettic and picturesque sort of element of ambience and beautiful melodies that really swoop you off your feet, if you ask me. And that, I think, really makes you embrace this record just that little bit more, and makes it go, wow, this is something very, very different for thrash metal, if you ask me. It's definitely something that I think has a really unique factor going for it, in particular on that song. But the aggression behind it and the power that is withheld on the songs definitely gives it that thrash that makes you realise that this isn't just any kind of just straight up melodic band. This is just, it's still got that attack going for that thrash attack that you really, really need for thrash, if you ask me, to give it that real gritty edge, if you ask me. And I absolutely love that factor on that song. Definitely one of the best songs that I've heard so far this year. And I would have to say, no pun intended, but my second favourite song has to be the third song, Obsolescence. That is definitely a banger of a song, if you ask me. But I absolutely love the intensity and the grit behind this EP, if you ask me. It's definitely something that has that real melodic drive to it, but it definitely has that that thrash attack to give it that sharpness and that grit and you know, that vibe that you need with thrash metal. And I think overall that sound is what makes this EP kill so much, if you ask me. From the intense drum work, which is very well thought out and very it doesn't overbear itself in any way. Like, it's not a constant fest of just you know, like constant thrash beats left, right and centre. There's a lot more attention to detail on this release, and a lot more groove and as if poise, you could say. It's got a lot of character to the drum work on this EP, from really intricate grooves on there to make you headbang and get really into this EP. It's definitely a headbanger's release, if you ask me. So if you want something to headbang along to, this is definitely a one for you, especially with the drum work, the way it's precisely played. It's excellent and sounds fantastic, I might as well add. And a rumbly, chunky bass tone behind there, giving it a very warm, fuzzy sort of sound. It's not like clanky tones like we've talked about recently in review. It's a very warm, moist sort of tone. It's very smooth and very sharp. It really cuts through the mix very, very nicely, if you ask me, and gives it that really nice you know, like a stomach rumble sort of vibe in there. And I absolutely love that factor on there. It gives it a really nice warmness to it, and I absolutely love that. But I have to say the guitar work is definitely something that soars over the mix on this release, and definitely is a good factor because the melodies are something to behold on this. The guitar work is unbelievable, if you ask me. The melodies are unparalleled, if you ask me. They just create such a really heartwarming atmosphere on this album. I keep on saying that. This release, if you ask me. It's very intricately, really well played and really well executed. It's just beautiful to hear, if you ask me. A very nice, crisp and quite sharp attack on the tone as well. Like, I was expecting a really thick sort of tone, but it really gives it that really unique atmosphere on there, as I said before. Like, it really gives the guitar solos a really sharp and really beautiful sort of essence to it that really you can't really shake off, if you ask me. It just sticks in your head and it's left ringing, and it's just beautifully executed. So it's a very unique tone. It's not overly bearingly thick. It's just really sharp and very attackful. Absolutely love that factor. And then one element that I was really looking forward to seeing what he could bring was my boy Lundy. Like, I've hyped up to Decrepit Monolith for many, many years now, and I've loved his vocals on that, but I was looking forward to see what he could bring forth in this release, whether it being a more of a melodic sort of vibe on there. So as soon as I heard the first song, I was really like saying, okay, let's see what Lundy could bring to the table right here. And he delivered, if you ask me. I love his vocal work on this release. Like, from the epic, powerful, like, cleans that are on here to the really gritty vocals. Like, they're not like harsh scream, they're just like a gritty. The only real way I could really describe it is like a James Hetfield sort of, like, you know, bitter sort of vocal in there. That I really love that sort of style, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, his execution on those style of vocals, that's the only way I can describe it. So if you're feeling insulted, Lundy, sorry. But yeah, his vocal work is absolutely tremendous on those like harsher kind of cleans on there. But his like harsher vocals, like his mid-range and his higher range, are still, oh, it just gives me shivers just listening to it. I absolutely love his execution. His vocal delivery is unparalleled in the Northeast, if you ask me, and this is something you definitely need to hear. And lyrics, as I said, are just infectiously catchy and very well executed. And they, honestly, when I first heard this, I was singing the lyrics like at work, and I think people were getting sick of us. So yeah, if that's a good release, then it's a good release. Because if those lyrics can stick in your head, then it's definitely something that you just need to check out. This is an outstanding piece of Northeast metal and core community bands. I mean, like, this is excellent, excellent stuff. So if you're into your thrash metal, then this is definitely for you. As I said, I'm not massively into me thrash sort of stuff, so I can't really pinpoint what bands you might like. The only thing I can hear is like influences here and there. But yeah, definitely check this release out. I'll leave a link down below of where you can check out this EP. It's absolutely outstanding. For local thrash metal, Theta, check out their debut EP, Theta, self-titled as I said before. For an overall score, I'm going to give this a solid 8 out of 10. Excellent release. I just hope for more material from these guys in the upcoming future, and it's definitely a band that you need to keep your eye on in 2019 and 2020 in the future. So keep an eye on them, and I'll see you until next video, and remember, stay metal, and I'll see you later.